Okay, says we're live. Let me change the banner situation. Hello, how are we? Happy last week of February already. Apologies for missing Monday. I had a doctor's appointment. So yeah, woohoo! We are here. I am hoping to get a great deal done today. Not gonna lie, hoping to get lots of things done. Because I have been sort of preoccupied with health and doctor's appointments. So I feel like my word counts and editing sessions have dropped significantly this month. And unfortunately, I still have like things that are scheduled for March, and also because I have possible jury summons. Again, I have zero idea what March is going to look like in terms of like I have tried to schedule things for the first week of March, and then I have scheduled nothing for my birthday week because I have to call every day to see if I have been summoned. And I also have to figure out essentially before Monday whether or not I need to like beg off of jury summons to a later like jury summons round, because the doctor, essentially the surgeon that I had my consultation with on Monday, was like, yeah, we can go ahead and take care of your gallbladder, or we can wait till it's a bigger problem and take care of it then. Just be aware that, if it acts up urgently, it'll be a little bit more of a problem. So I was like, okay. Lovely. And of course, the days that she does surgeries are Wednesdays, so it will be a missed Wednesday stream. But I have not scheduled that yet because I'm trying to figure out when would be best for that. Also getting other things sort of scheduled and under control and whatnot. So again, 2026 is apparently the year of health for me. So we're going to get there. That way we can have a long, healthy life with good habits, hopefully, for the rest of my life. So this is your reminder to take care of yourself and stop avoiding going to doctors if at all possible. Otherwise, you're going to have a whole slew of things to take care of at once. Anyway, according to today's poll, it's sort of a semi-medical question in terms of like, what fruit should your main character, not eat? Like, is there a fruit that your main character is allergic to or gives them some problems? Is there a fruit that in your world is I don't know, poisonous of some kind? So the poll options are: your main character can and will eat. Should they be avoiding strawberries? Should they be avoiding pineapples? Should they be avoiding grapefruits and or citrus? So yeah, so what things should your main character be avoiding in terms of fruit? I wish I had so many more options, because I realized when I was creating the poll, I had put Starfruit on there just for funsies, just because it's a fun shape. And there's a bunch of things that people, but she is allergic, so she has to avoid them. I know some people are really allergic to pineapple, and I know some people should not have grapefruit because of medication complications. And CB is one of our longtime chat friends, and CB cannot have citrus, bergamot, because of an allergy, so I included that in there. So yeah, so what would your main character avoid in terms of fruit. If you have a particular one in mind that is not one of the very limited options, go ahead and put that in the chat as well. Diane is here and says, hello all set to get to work. Excellent, lovely, welcome. Neil is here and says, wave, wave, hello, welcome. Stacy is here and says, good afternoon, hello. Monique is planning on working on a character profile today for Valerie Lemaire. Nice. She's going to be introduced in Drama of the Undead as one of Gabby's new friends from high school. 3. Nice. Excellent. Gabby is allergic to strawberries. Yes. Okay, so that's one that your main character should definitely avoid. Rachel is here. You made it. You have 11 chapters to weed through. Ooh, nice. And are these all long chapters, short chapters, sort of a mix of things? Do you anticipate that this is going to take the entire stream or the entire day? Like what ballpark are you aiming for in terms of how long it's going to take you to get these 11 chapters done? Here she is. Yes, here I am. Here I am in all of my glory. Also, today, let's see, what is today? Today's Wednesday. So I'm just shy of a week of taking anxiety medications. So there's that. I did take mine today. Yay, I remembered. I've been trying to take it with lunch. So, but I'm still getting used to the effects of it. So that's definitely a thing. Beer pack, warming up coffee. Excellent. I did have my first cup of fully caffeinated coffee in a long time today. Just because the anxiety medication does drop my blood pressure and it makes me feel so tired. So I did have my first fully caffeinated cup of coffee. It was so nice. I've missed it. I have missed it a great deal. But yeah. So Monique says, I spent yesterday researching the candidates on the Democratic side of things. Gotcha. Yep. Lidamy, hello, welcome. Hopefully I said your username correctly. Welcome. What do you think about the books of Dostoevsky? So I don't love them, but I like them. And I do appreciate them for sort of the literary bookmark that they have put into just literature in general. I'm trying to think which one it was that I in high school was like, oh, I recognize this character's inner monologue in myself, and it was like not a compliment. Yeah, it's Crime and Punishment, but I don't remember which. I think there was this passage where the character's brain was just racing and hopping around. And just that inner franticness. And I was like, oh, my brain does this. Again, I've never been diagnosed with ADHD. Just now getting help with anxiety. Does. And then so there's a very, very human level in the character development and the character building that I love about Dostoevsky. But it's such a so freaking massive. But the descriptions are just so, like, I know this is not Dostoevsky, but Anna Karenina has a passage where she is looking out over the landscape, and the author's description of the landscape is so picture perfect that you can it's just like fully imagined in your brain. Like you can see the sunlight, you can see the grains and the plants moving in the wind, and it's just like it's so beautiful the way that the prose is written. in terms of the depiction of the landscape. So it's one of the things that Dostoevsky and a lot of the other Russian novelists do, is their depictions of the characters and the depictions of the landscapes around them are so beautiful and poetic and very real, like very realistic. And so I truly do appreciate a lot of the Russian, again, translation. So sometimes the translators are doing overtime and like picking really, really, really fantastic choices. So shout out to the translators and the editors for those novels, because those are fantastic as well. But yeah, so I don't necessarily always love the plot line, but I always find something in the story that is beautiful and that I can see in myself as a human. So I find Dostoevsky good, but like long. It takes a really long time to read. But yeah, also this is coming from a former like literature major and former teacher, so like take that with a grain of salt as you will. But yes, I like them. I've not read the full catalog though, so that is the one thing that eventually I would like to do, but I just have not yet. So, Neil says, my main character is a 14-year-old boy. Getting him to eat any fruit would be a challenge. Really, more like pizza and meat and like carb heavy stuff. How would your character feel about Hawaiian pizza? I mean, would they eat it just because it's pizza? Would they be offended that there is pineapple on a pizza? Like what? How would your 14-year-old character feel about pineapple pizza? Diane says, my character is like me. Put any fruit in front of me and they will eat it. Your imaginary main character. Yes. Mom Maggie is here. Hello, lovelies. Hello. Welcome. What is Colorado weather like here today? Because it's cloudy. It's 56 degrees at the moment, but it was in the 20s, I think, last night. And I know y'all have been just so dry, so lack of snow. Stacey says, my main characters are able to eat anything, but there is food that they might choose not to eat. Gotcha. Rachel says, I cannot eat much fruit. Texture thing. Yes, because a lot of like cantaloupes. My best friend has like issues with melon textures, which I get, and I have a thing for like the mealy apples, which is why I usually go for like a Granny Smith, because it usually doesn't turn like powdery. I hate powdery apples. But your dragon will pretty much eat anything, so he'll take mine. Gotcha. Diane rethunk. Yes, it's a word. I accept it. And you cannot have cantaloupe. Allergy? ? We've assumed. Gotcha. Yeah, I mean, you don't want to eat too much of it if you think you have an allergy. Absolutely not. You want to try and avoid that. Elizabeth says, hi, everybody. Hello. Welcome. These chapters, the 11 chapters, will take the entire day, but this is a good continuation point. Gotcha. Mom Maggie's like, I love all the chapters. Love them. Diane says, this is such a great group. I agree. I love our group. So nice. Neil started a new novel on Monday. Ooh, the final part of a trilogy. Ooh, you're wrapping up all the ends of things. Nice. You've set aside the first 2 sprints to fix things that you're already not happy with. Gotcha. Rachel says, yes, you're almost finished. You're almost finished with section 1. You rewrote the first chapter last night for Mom Maggie, as she was correct. It needed more oomph. Yes. Diane says, admits she has to look up Dostoevsky to remind self what they wrote. Yeah, and that's what I was trying to remember. It's like, I thought it was Crime and Punishment, but I was trying to remember if it was Dostoevsky. I was like, is that Dostoevsky or is that? So I had to double check. So yeah, no shame in that. Letterme says, Dostoevsky books are like a mirror to me. It makes it a lot easier for me to see myself. Yes. Yeah, this is sort of what I was getting at. And I like the way you phrase it. That's sort of what I was getting at when I was reading the character's monologue and finding myself in it, and the way that my brain was like racing and bouncing and obsessing over things. So yeah. Mom Maggie says to Rachel, thank you for waiting on my slow better read return. Thanks for trusting me with your amazing words. Mom Maggie says Dostoevsky is an author I have to be in a mood to read. He's very melancholic. True. Very true. I'm trying to think. Anna Karenina was also, I would agree, pretty melancholic, as was Kate Chopin and Edith Wharton for The Awakening and Ethan Frome. But those I do not like as much. So Ethan Frome by Edith Wharton. I think that's the right author. And Kate Chopin's The Awakening. Like, I don't recommend those. I don't. Those are not among my favorites. So much. Yes. Yeah. Diane says my mind went to Tolstoy. Agreed. Yeah. That's the other. And then of course Tchaikovsky, but that's music. So, yeah. Anyway, Diane says, I will fully admit I have never read him. I know his name, but I'm 99% sure I never really read his work. Makes a note to self to do so. Yeah, and some of it is, it's like, I don't necessarily think you need to read his entire catalog by any means. But I think Crime and Punishment is worth a read once in your lifetime. So yeah. Stacy is trying to decide if I want to read or write. Flip a coin. Does that help? I mean, I can tell you to write for the first sprint and see if that gets you anywhere, or you can flip a coin. Stacy says, I know I don't want to read the book that I should read for book club. You would DNF it because something happens that I think is out of character for the female main character. Ooh. Okay. So is book club about to be controversial then? And okay, so here's the other thing. Do you do a in-person book club, or is this an online book club? I would love to find an in-person book club. Love to. But I think everybody has heard of Crime and Punishment. Yeah, but how many have actually read it? I have. But it's been a while. It's been a while. And it was part of my school curriculum. Most of the time, if it was school curriculum, I did my best to read it the whole way through. I think one of the only things that I ever DNF'd, oh gosh, Tale of Two Cities. I think that was the only one that I ever DNF'd for school. And I still went and I read summaries and read analysis of it so I could understand more. But I was and I did read the ending of it. I just I got about halfway through it and I was like, this is just so crap. So then I flipped to the end, read the end, which I do not recommend doing. And I was a freshman in high school. Don't recommend, but it was the only way that I could get through that. So, so even literature majors have issues and will occasionally DNF a book. Stace says the book is It Ends With Us, and it's in person. So you are trying to read some more of it. You already read the epilogue, and you're still not getting there. Yeah, gotcha. Yeah, I've heard things about it. It Ends With Us. I've not read it, but I've heard things about it. So, okay, we do need to get our cats for the day and our These are cats. Where's my calendar? There it is. Also, I did finally set up my March calendar pages, and I love them. They're very green. Very green. So here is my March. Here we go. The March, I did sort of like a shadow with a chartreuse situation. I've got the wide washi tape torn in half on the cover sheet. And I've got like the bunnies. If it's ever gonna, there we go. I've got the bunnies and like little cabins and some windows and stuff. And so here's my general layout for the weeks. So I have a decoration streak over here, and then I have one down here underneath, sort of like a space for tasks for the week. And then I have a space for notes, just sort of like, I don't know if I'm going to use this as like a review box at the end of the week, or like things to remember for the next week or month or whatever, but that's the general layout. And so each week has a quarter of that big wide washi tape on the bottom and top, and then the decoration. Occasionally I have some little frog stickers because they're sort of the same color tone, but for the most part that's what it looks like. And then I have the March wrap up and quarter one review, which I've already got a couple of things noted, and then I have a space for quarter two planning when we get to reset week. So that's my March, very green. I was trying to decide, I didn't really want to do a like leprechaun theme, but I like the green for St. Patrick's Day and spring and all that. Okay, so kittens. The kittens. So for, oops, nope, we got more cats because I was not here on, I was not here. So we have 4 pages of kitties. So the weekend kitty says, the perfect quote, a smile says, I like you. You make me happy. I am glad to see you. Very cute. Then we have Monday's kitty. The way I look at my human. Love that human. And we love that kitty back, don't we? Does have a little coloring page on the back of that one there. Tuesday's kitten is a little bit bigger. Profound wisdom. There we go. Always be a good citizen and cover up any business you do on the neighbor's lawn. That is some advice. I'm not sure if it's perfect advice. Then we have this kitty, so cute, so sweet. I want you to know that you are being heard, and I'd like to hear about my next din-din. So yes, the kitty is listening. But look at those ears. They got the little tufts on the points of the ears. So cute, so fuzzy. This is just like the point of fur where you just like to bury your fingers, just like squishy. So cute. So cute. All right, let's see if it'll refocus for us. Maybe, maybe not. Just gonna think about it. Well, we have to do the card anyway. So it's a very cute kitty. Yes, and you like the mandala? Me too. Me too. Ooh, Monique went with a purple theme for your March Fujo setup. Sort of mix of purple and greens. Yes, I did think about purple. However, I have the Archer and Olive Dragonspire notebook that's coming soon. I got a notification that it shipped this morning. And so that one's purple. So I'm saving some of my purple stickers and tapes for that. So So yeah. Okay, 67. We have the wolf spirit for today. Here's our wolf. Turn wisdom into knowledge. Monique. The wolf spirit leads you deep into the enchanted forest that holds the secrets to your life. Can you sense her beckoning you to follow, asking you to take all you have learned and all you are learning and make it yours? Can you integrate it all into your body, mind, and spirit? Whatever lessons you learned along the way, do not leave them unexamined. Be loyal to your dreams, to your soul, and to turning knowledge into wisdom and experience into magic. You are the one you have been waiting for. Be still and know that the sound of your heart beats in harmony with the whole world. The appearance of the wolf is an auspicious omen to say you are truly in alignment with your destiny. So there you go. It's a very encouraging card of like, you're on the right track. And don't forget to examine all of your life lessons, and all of the things that you are doing on the path to our wonderful life as writers and authors and creative peoples, right? Okay, let's pop this open. So now I have my document open, and now we need to pick a, I'm trying to remember if I have any springtime. I don't think I do. I think I need to make some springtime timers. And I keep saying that, and then I just never do. So I need to fix that. But we are going to go with the winter morning timer to start us off. It is a silent timer. So at the end of the timer, it has a little chime. Here we go. Make it big. So jealous. I got the A in fantasy. I splurged. I received a birthday gift that was monetary value, and so I splurged. And I got multiple things from A&O. So hopefully when that comes in, I will be able to just like show them off real quick. So, okay, let's do this. 1, save your document if you've already been working today. 2 is make sure you have something to hydrate with, and go ahead and take a sip. Cheers. Three, straighten your spine or roll your shoulders back for that posture check. Make sure that we're not slouching too much. 4 is if you need a break, take a break. Here we go. 30 minutes in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, how was that? I got 253 words. Yeah, 253. That's not a bad start. Having to do like editing and stuff. So I had been slacking on that. But doing okay. I'm also like taking off sticky things that I had set on the edge of my desk and then hadn't done away with. So I've got 253 words added. Monique was excited because the wolf card, it was perfect for Valerie because she's a werewolf. Nice. Andy is here and waves hello. Excellent. Funky is here, but probably is in the yearly review meeting at the moment. So cross fingers, knock on wood. Good luck to Funky for the yearly review. I'm sure Funky will do great because Funky is amazing. Mom Maggie says good luck. Rachel says good luck. Rachel also says hello to Andy. Monique says you have figured out Valerie's personality type. Also had a little bit of lunch. Excellent. Good. I stir-fried some kimchi fried rice with chicken for my lunch. That was my lunch. I'm trying to figure out how else to eat the kimchi. Because I'm gonna be honest, I didn't love it straight out of the canister. I bought like the Costco, I think it's Jonga, Jongga brand. And I didn't love it straight out of the canister. It was okay, but I didn't love it. So I'm trying to figure out how else to use it because it's supposed to be very good for your health. Fermented foods in general are supposed to be very good for your health. So, and your gut and all that kind of good stuff. So I'm trying to figure that out. So I stir fried it and it was better. I liked it in the stir fry, but I know I can't always have a stir fry. So I need to figure out some other recipes to use the kimchi in. So yeah. Okay, save my document. Diane says, Funky, you've got it. They are lucky to have you. Yes, they are. Stacy says she bought me my copy for Christmas. Did I miss a? Did I miss a? Did I miss something? Let me swap over to live chat and see if there's something that is missing somehow. I'm not entirely sure what your copy is. Your copy of something for Christmas. Your choice you bought for her, but we don't read that one until November. Are we talking about Crime and Punishment? Are we talking about your book club book? The It Ends With Us book? Is that the one we're talking about? I think that might be the one we're talking about. But yeah, so that's where we are. Your best friend chose the book. Okay. I have quite a number of friends who read, and surprise, I hung out with the other nerdy kids who read. That way we could have silent lunch and just read instead of socializing when we were kids. No, we socialized as well as read, but like there were some days we all had books, and there were some days that we had silent lunch voluntarily. yeah, that was the one thing that, like, if I ever got in trouble at school and like the punishment was silent lunch, it was never an issue. I just took a book. I think one time I had a teacher who was like, "This is supposed to be a punishment for you, so no, you're not allowed to take your book." I was like, "Okay, fine, whatever. I'll just stare off into space and create my own little story." Yeah, so I mean, I didn't get that. I didn't get in trouble that much. Mostly because I wasn't paying attention to class. So generally, like, if I wasn't paying attention, I was reading or I was imagining a story. So I just did the same thing with silent lunch. Like, it was never that much of a punishment. So, because there are some people who truly are extroverts, and taking away their socializing time was such a detriment to them. And I'm like, it's fine. I don't know where I was going with that. Oh, right. Anyway, so one of my friends, I do not trust her reading suggestions. Like, I took them at first. She loved Mist of Avalon. And I liked the concept of it, but I fell asleep so many times reading that. And whereas some of Marion Zimmer Bradley's other books, I did not, but that particular one just did not at all hold my interest. She recommended Jewel. I'm trying to remember. I don't remember who that was by. She recommended My Sister's Keeper, Jodi Picoult, and a couple of other Jodi Picoult ones. She recommended, I don't remember if it was Jewel or if it was something else. Anyway, it was another book where one of the kids in the family had both physical health and mental health issues, and the responsibility was sort of dumped onto the sibling to take care of them, and sort of just that wearing down of the character. It was definitely more of a cathartic read rather than an escapist read. And most of the other things that she recommended to me were all also cathartic reads rather than escapist reads. And so I just, once I figured that out, I did not take her recommendations very often. She also loved Wicked, and is it Gregory Maguire? Is that the author? So like everything from that author. So yeah. So there were a couple of things in there that I was like, yeah, that's worth giving a shot. But for the most part, I did not take her recommendations anymore. I love her, but we have different reading styles. She reads for catharsis a lot of times, and I read for escapism. So, but every once in a while, it'd be a nice premise, and I'll give it a shot. So, okay. So your neighbor's cherry blossom tree is blooming. Yay! Yeah, we have a couple of cherry blossom trees in the area, but they always start to bloom at the false thaw, and then they get frozen, and so they never really come back for spring very well. So they're like half-hearted blooming seasons, which is sad. Monique says you're going to move to your room because you need to recharge your laptop, and the sun's coming in from the windows. Nice. Okay, let's do the second sprint. Don't forget that's your self-promo sprint. So if you have something you want to promote, or you have a new book that's out, or you have a book that needs a review. So if you purchased Grandmother's Little Secret from Becca C. Smith, make sure that you are leaving a review. If you've purchased any of Mom Maggie's or Monique's books, make sure you're leaving reviews for them. Chandra Arthur has Mother's Mercy. What's the release for that? I can't remember. But yeah, so make sure you are checking out the AuthorTubers book releases for this year. Make sure you're leaving reviews for the ones that you've gotten and managed to read and all of that good stuff. Because I know that sometimes it takes me a while to get around to them. Okay, that's my self-promo spiel. Let's do this. 1, save your document. 2 is make sure you have something to hydrate and go ahead and take a sip. I'm gonna get this down to the 30-minute mark, or at least as close as I can. We're about 40 seconds off. Okay, close enough. Nope, need to share it first. Okay, so again, 1 is save, 2 is sip, 3 is straighten your spine and posture check. Don't slouch like I was doing. And 4 is if you need a break, take a break. Here we go, 30 minutes in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, we are done with the second sprint. I'm now at 274 words, so I didn't add that much in the document. I did sort of rearrange and thinking of things. And then I was looking at how I want to set up my Q2 goals and sort of change how I'm tracking things, because now I would like to track a couple things more carefully in terms of like building habits. And I like the idea of giving myself little like reward things. So like additive rather than just like check mark. And so I was thinking either like a self-inking stamp of some kind, or star stickers. And so I'm trying to think, and I was looking on Amazon real quick, trying to decide like how big of a sticker do I want? Do I want the ones with the smiley face? Do I want like what exactly do I want in terms of okay, so where did I, let's find the list where I put it. I'm not gonna do that. Wish lists. Because I put it on the list. Here we go. Okay, so in terms of like giving myself just like a fun little, like really silly, I think I probably will create a what should I call it? Have a different journal. So if I'm going with like a self-inking stamp, this could be like a really fun set, because you have like the little crab, you rock, top notch, nailed it, some fish, a little bee that says unbelievable work. I like the turtly awesome one. Fantastic work, roarsome work, you're a big squeal, totally terrific, you're so jawsome, snailed it. So like these could be fun and silly. And I don't like, there's some other options in terms of like this one's a foodie one. So like I could go with that, or I could go with some star stickers and just get like glitterified ones that are gradient of the rainbow. I could get ones that have big smiley faces on them. And these are relatively small. And then they start sort of like, this one's 1 inch, so it's a bit bigger. But if we're going with a 1 inch one, they have these like galaxy, purpley, sparkly, holographic ones that are kind of fun. And so or I could go with like a pastel or just gold star ones. I could go with smiley faces. Like, so I could go with pastels. I could go with hearts instead of, or like these that sort of have multiple colors in one. So like self-inking stamps or stars. And if I go with stars, what color palette should I be picking? I'm really tempted, but these are bigger. So I don't know if that's like, do I really need 1,000 bigger stickers? So yeah, I also have these sort of like Celtic knots in my cart because I will probably get that at some point. I just haven't pulled the trigger on it. So like, do I want the really silly like stamps, or do I want stickers for like additive things for goal tracking and habit building? So there's that. Also self promo, don't forget to do that. Rachel got interrupted the first sprint, so you're hoping to get more things done this second one. So hopefully that'd be nice. Renee says, hello, hopping in to get some more reading done. Yes. Yes, welcome. Diane is taking Pancho outside. Excellent. Angela is popping in some love. Excellent. Well, Maggie's going to see us later. Have fun. Neil got a healthy 500. Nice. However, you're still in the first 7 bullet points from your chapter plan, so this is going to be a large one. Yep, it happens. It happens. Funky says the review was less painful than I'd imagined. Yay! Excellent. Angela says, may I suggest checking Etsy and supporting a small business? That is a good idea as well, but I still need to figure out color palette and or whether or not I want self-inking or stickers. So I still need to have a better idea of what I want or what people want to see if I decide to show off my habit tracking journal. So yeah. I like, so Wallace has done the 75-day challenge. In fact, I haven't seen it for a while. So maybe I need to check in on her channel, see if YouTube is unsubscribed me. So I really like the daily sort of short check-ins, and like I understand that she doesn't want to show off her journal because it's very personal, and that's fine. But I like the idea of checking off all those things in order to build the habit and sort of like have that near completion / just accountability thing. But I feel like I need something more than just coloring in a box. So external motivation is what I need, apparently. Renee did not finish a scene, but did grab some snacks. Excellent. Food is always good. Food is always a good thing. Let's get another sprinty sprint. Let's see. It's 2:50 already. How does this happen all the time? I don't understand. Like, I mean, I know it happens, but like, how? Okay, let's do this one. It's part of a longer one, but I like it. Okay, let's find the mark. There we go. Okay, share screen, share screen. Make it big. Okay, so this one will have the sounds of waves in it. Food is always good. Amen. Exactly. Exactly. Okay, let's do this. So 1, save your document. 2, straighten your spine. Make sure you're not slouching. Just posture check. No, sorry, I mixed that up. 1 is save, 2 is sip, 3 is posture check. 4 is if you need a break, take a break. We're going with a 25-minute sprint here so we can get a little bit more progress done. Here we go, 25 minutes in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Okay. How'd we do? I did take a look at Etsy, and they do have a couple of options for like iridescent / hollow little stickers. I also looked up like little wooden stamp sets or self-inking stamps. I think there are quite a number of those that are drop shipped. And I saw a couple that were from Japan that are super cute. But again, pretty sure they're drop shipped. So not sure I want drop shipped. So I'll have to spend a little bit more time looking at some of the listings. Some of the vinyl ones, I'm pretty sure, are done like at an in-home studio, like Cricut cut type thing. So hopefully I will find one of those that is a decent price with a cute color palette, because I think I would rather go with some stickers that maybe have a bit of variety rather than just rather than just the same like stamp, because I only have so many ink pads. So of course I can always like try and use up what I have in the house first, which I do have some of the like the gold and silver foiled ones that are standard for like kids reward things. I think I have a couple of sheets that have like small stickers and things. So trying to, yeah. So I have these sort of classic ones that I could go with. I'm just first, so I don't have to like buy one immediately. I just kind of wanted to see what options there were. And again, I used to have like a self-inked stamp for teaching and things. So I have like the 5-star stamp. And I have some things like I have templates, and I have like this kind of thing, like acrylic stamps, I should say. So like I don't have to have them, and I should probably be looking at what I can use that I already have rather than buying more things. I really should do that. So I might start in a notebook that I don't necessarily care that much about, just in order to get the first ideas of how it might look, how I might want to track things. So maybe I'll do that for March, and then like set up for Q2 once I have a better idea of what works and what doesn't. So Diane was still sitting outside with Poncho, and on Haley, hello, welcome. You're on your lunch break, popped in to say hello. Hello, this is one of my besties, so yay, excellent. Diane was also perking up for the idea of food. And yes, so Funky and Haley and Diane are all like, yes, 'tis lunchtime. Renee has finished 2 scenes and got tea. Excellent. What flavor tea? And Funky says to Diane, you're sitting outside with a poncho is a good idea. Yes. And Thog is here. Hello, welcome. You just woke up this morning, so it's morning for you. Yes, gotcha. 'Tis morning for somebody, always. Classic Earl Grey. Nice. Diane is excited to see Thog / Ariska. Yes. Hopefully I will be able to get a little bit more done this afternoon. Don't forget to check the spreadsheet for who else is going to be on today. I'm hoping that between now and this weekend I can get a lot more done, since I've had to miss Monday, and the last 2 weeks have been, the brain has not been fully in the writing because of all the appointments that I've had. But it's all going to be good. We're going to make up for it. So this weekend, I think it's going to be one of those weekends that I try and put my head down and just like write. It's also the last weekend of February, so new month coming soon. Must get everything we want done in February done between now and then, or at least as much as possible. Okay, so in regards to our poll, if you haven't answered yet, please do so in a relatively quickly manner. What fruit is your main character not going to eat? What should they avoid fruit-wise? Are you going to pick your main character can and will eat anything? Your main character should be avoiding strawberries. Your main character should be avoiding pineapples. Or your main character should be avoiding grapefruit / citrus. So, which one should your main character not eat? Or can they just eat everything? Diane says you're loving the sounds of kids at school and apparently on recess. Yeah. Recess is fun. It was one of the things that when you get to middle school sometimes, or because some middle schools still have recess, some not so much. And then once you get to high school, it's just gone. And it's a shame. But yeah. Okay, so the poll, the majority of our main characters are going to be eating anything and everything. 84% of our main characters. 6% are going to be avoiding strawberries, and 5% are going to be avoiding pineapples and grapefruit and citrus. Alrighty, that's how our poll ends for today. So that is where we are. Hopefully things are going to go good for you this afternoon and before I see you again on Friday. Don't forget to sort of check in with your goals and priority lists for this month and think about next month if you haven't already done so. Make sure that this weekend you are backing up your project because it's the end of the month. We need to do that on a regular basis. So make sure you've backed up or are backing up whatever project or projects you are working on. And start thinking about what we're going to do at the end of this quarter because we have a month left of it. So we are supposed to be, we're 2/3 of the way done with our quarter one. So check in with your Kanban board if you haven't done so in a while, because we've got the rest of this week before we are into that last third. Yeah. Diane says, thank you for friends. You're welcome. All right. Don't forget to save your document. Make sure you're hydrating, and I will see y'all soon. All right. Bye.